So starting a Google search campaign does not have to be all that complicated. So if you hop into a Google Ads account, you'll actually be able to select new campaign. If you have the conversion events for sales and you're going for purchases for e-commerce, then I would choose sales. If you are going after leads, then I would choose leads. You can also select create a campaign without a goals guidance, and that will allow for you to not have to have conversion tracking in place. Select a search campaign and then website visits, and then you'll want to input the website that you are advertising. Here you can choose what you want your conversion goals to be. And I typically have form submissions from your website or phone calls from your ads. Those are all good things to do. I typically do for naming convention, bottom of funnel, because that's what we're going after. And we're doing search campaign. And then I end up putting in the bidding strategy. So this is an option where you can set up enhanced conversions for your account. And this allows for Google to see a little bit more into your conversions. It won't actually necessarily need your conversions in order to optimize, but I'm going to choose that and select that as off for right now so that I can set up enhanced conversions down the line. So I'm going to choose clicks. So there's all of these different options: conversions, conversions value, clicks, and impression share. So conversions is maximize conversions or TCPA. So if you select this, then you'll be able to select a target CPA. This is a smart bidding strategy where it's going after conversions. You're going to need for this and for maximize conversion value and for TROAS and for TCPA, target CPA, you're going to need your conversion actions set up properly so that the system can actually optimize. Now, I know for a fact that there's lots of cases and scenarios where businesses cannot track conversions, whether it's because they don't have access to their website or it goes off to a third-party form that goes off of the website or whatever it may be. There's just lots of different business situations. So in this case, that's my situation, so I'm actually going to choose maximize clicks. This is an option to where you can choose a maximize CPC bid, so you can cap things at $4 if you're starting to see your bids become pretty high. Now, I typically recommend starting off without having a cost per click bid limit and then going from there. If you have a customer list, I would recommend using the option for bid for new customers only. But at this point in time, this is a new campaign, newer business, so we're not going to have that selected. For search network and display network, I typically start out with just Google search because I want to make sure that we are driving the most high quality traffic as possible when we start our campaigns. And then I choose search network down the line if I'm not seeing the results that I want, or if we've got that dialed in, but we don't have any more room to grow. Here, we'll be able to enter in the different locations and then always select presence, people in, or regularly in your included locations. For audience segments, you're going to be able to use either targeting or observation. This is a case scenario where you do want to use observation only. So you can browse through different options, or you can start to put in different options and then select the ones that are a little bit more valid for you. So I'm going to choose buildings. Let's see if there's anything around that. General contracting, remodeling, electrician, residential, commercial properties. Actually, that's interesting. Commercial industry. So you can add these in just to start to see a little bit more into the user base that's clicking on your ads. So there's this section here where it says broad match keywords. It's off right now. But if I had selected up here in the bidding, If we select conversions and then go to next and continue going through the prompts here, this is actually selected as on. Make sure at all costs, just turn this off and then choose to run broad match if you want to. But if you have this selected on, it will ignore every single match type keyword that you have. I think it's best to maintain control, and so that's why I like to just have that selected off of using an automated bidding strategy. Now I'm going to go back to maximize clicks and go from there. So you can see that it's automatically off because it's not using an automated bidding strategy. For ad rotation, I typically like to use optimize for best performing ads, and then for more settings, these are just dates, and then ad schedule. If you have a business that is running a certain time period within the day and is receiving calls, this is a good option and thing to select. And then you can add in a tracking template. Just comment below and let me know if you want to use my tracking template, where it will say on the back end of your GA4 or whatever tracking software that you're using, it'll give you the campaign and the keyword for the conversions. So it's a really good tracking template, and just let me know in the comments if you want that. This is an option where you can do brand inclusions or brand exclusions. So you would need to, if you're a smaller business, you would need to create a new list, and this would allow for you to start to make sure that you don't show up for your brand searches. Now, at this point in time, I'm not going to use this. I would probably not use this for brand inclusions. And for brand exclusions, I typically just add the brand name over to the exclusions list. Okay, so going over to next. Now this is a new thing within Google where you can create an ad using Google's AI. And to be honest, I have been underwhelmed when it comes to this. Now in this case, it's not doing a terrible job, but I'm still not completely happy with it. So commercial pole building, horse barn plans, pole barn building. So it's taking the whole website and trying to give me some suggestions when it comes to the keywords. Now, I've already got my keywords that I want to use. So I'm going to get that right now and bring that over. Okay, so I'm going to bring over commercial pole building, commercial pole barn with office space, pole barn commercial building, pole barn commercial buildings, and pole frame commercial buildings. So I'm going to bring those over. I'm going to copy them, and then I'm going to, for all of these, I just don't feel like any of these, with the exception of this one, is as relevant as I want it to be. They're a little bit more broad. Okay, so I've got these in here, but these are coming in as broad match, you can see. So there's actually a pretty cool website where you can go to keyword match type tool, and then I can bring and copy this, bring it over into here, and then choose exact match, phrase match, or broad match. Modified broad match is no longer a thing. Okay, so just make sure you take note of that. And then it'll automatically format your keywords in the match type that you want to use. So I'm gonna do that and then go ahead on over. Now this is where we can create the specific ads, and this is trying to make it as easy as possible for us to launch a campaign. Honestly, this stuff is fairly generic, and I actually have a process that I go through for writing these ads, and so I'll be able to go through that next with you. Make sure you check out this video, because I'm actually going to show you how I use ChatGPT to write super focused and high intent ads that actually end up performing really well. And I do use ChatGPT, but I've got a really cool GPT that I can share with you. Just shoot me a comment and let me know if that's something of interest to you. Okay, so we've got all this. I'm gonna choose to run actually Google's AI ad against my own when I write that. So that'll be interesting. So then you can add in different site links, and you can add in different callouts and more assets and different things like that. I'm not going to use a tracking template here because I set that at the campaign level. And then I'm going to choose next. Now for average daily budget, I'm going to do, because we have a budget of $500 per month for this particular campaign, I'm going to divide 500 divided by 30.4. All right, so we've got that, and then we're going to hit next, and now it's reviewing. Okay, great. So we've got everything here. We've got all of the keywords. We've got an ad. We're going to write another ad. I typically like to run 2 ads at the same time and compare which one works. We've got Google Search Network and Display Network off, and we've got our location. We've got our presence in or regularly in. We've got some audiences that we're observing. We've got the right language. Everything is ready to go, and I'm going to select Publish Campaign. Okay, so now this is giving me the option to actually set up conversions, and I will do that in the future, but I'm actually choosing to not track conversions from Google Ads. I'm actually choosing to track conversions on the back end, and there's reasons for that. And if you're actually interested in a strategy where I'm not tracking conversions and why I'm doing it, it's because of CPCs are rising, and when Google sees your keywords and sees your conversions, it actually ends up inflating the CPCs. And so if you want to see this really cool Google search strategy on not tracking conversions but getting really great results, check out this video. All right, great. So we've got our campaign here and we've got our ads. I typically like to rename the ad group, and then I typically also like to just go in and recheck and make sure that my keywords are the specific match type, and just recheck all of the settings just to make sure that everything is right. Now, if you're interested in how I actually write my ads, make sure you check out this video. And again, thank you so much for watching.